Welcome to Triangle BNI. Today's show is brought to you by Simply Done Concierge. Folks, we talk every show, can't be in two places at once. So, how do you add more productive time back to your day? And that's going to come with the team at Simply Done Concierge. Whether it is errand running, pet care, meal prep, packing, whatever you need, the team can get it done for you. Go to simplydoneconcierge.com and fill out some information there on how they can help you. And I know they will be able to extend your day and your productivity. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning. Each week on Triangle BNI, we bring you a local small business success story. If you are not familiar with BNI, it is Business Networking International, the world's largest networking organization. Our little slice of heaven here in the Triangle, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and the surrounding towns. Each week, 33 chapters and about 558, 559 members get together. And our goal is to help each other grow our businesses. And our local small business success story just happens to be the owner of Simply Done Concierge, Mary Stocks. Mary is in RD 34, Pay It Forward. They meet Friday mornings at 8 a.m. at Outback Steakhouse on Walnut Street in Cary. So if Friday morning's a good time for you and that location's a good time for you, you will meet a nice group of successful business owners and sales professionals to help you grow or start your business. And Mary is so organized that she is between clients, pulled her car over, and we're doing the show from her car. So Mary, good morning. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate being here today.
All right. So you already finished with one client. You're headed to another client. I always get a chuckle out of the things you do. The meal prep, totally get. The errand running, totally get. The packing and unpacking, I totally get. The pet care world never ceases to amaze me on how people treat their dogs. And I love it for you because it works. But man, oh man, it's my dog, my husband, or my dog, my kids, my husband, usually in that order, right?
Absolutely, it is. So one of the things that for me for pet sitting is what does your pet need?
Yep.
And I always say in my 60 seconds, I pet sit the neurotic to the exotic. So it goes anywhere from dogs, cats, birds, lizards. So whatever it is that you have, I can take care of it. I've had years of experience on that. A couple weeks ago, I pet sit a little Yorkie. And after the first day and a half, I realized that she was missing mom a lot. So I texted mom and I said, could we do a video chat for the baby? And she said, sure. So we video chatted with the baby the first 5 minutes. The puppy, Maxie, ignored mom. She wanted nothing to do with her. And then after a few more minutes with mom talking to her, she finally engaged with my phone. It was rather
Yeah.
fascinating. And when we hung up the phone, Maxie got on the floor and she started playing. And I videotaped it and sent it to mom. And she goes, "Oh my God, she's happy. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for doing the video chat with me and the dog.
Yeah.
I feel so much better." So, because it was an 8-day trip and I wanted to make sure the baby was good the entire time.
Yeah. And things like that matter because coming out of COVID, lives changed. People went back to work because during COVID, we're all home. Everybody's home, husband, wife, kids, dogs, cats, everybody. And all of a sudden, everybody goes back to school and back to work. And the dog is like, hey, wait, what did I do? What about me? I'm the only one here. So I love that you do that. But it is amazing, though, uh, the the information people give you on what their dog needs. And because I'm
Yeah,
sure some like to go out, some don't like to go out, right? Some wanna sleep on your lap all day long, and others are just like, "Leave me alone."
absolutely. Absolutely. I just finished a 10-day stint for a client and dog, cat. I realized after the first day, because she said, just drop in. I said, okay. But it's 10 days. So
Mhm.
I let her know, hey, I'm just going to stay here instead because your puppy, he's not a puppy, but he's not wanting to eat. And then the cat is freaking out and hanging on the top of your ceiling on top of the cabinets. So I'm going to stay. And by the end of the visit, cat sleeping under the covers,
Yep.
dog sleeping on the end of the bed. So, and she's like, normally they don't get in bed. I'm like, well, they just needed that extra because mom and dad and all the kids are gone. So, whatever it takes to get them healthy, make sure that they stay healthy for you to come home to, we will do it. So,
And I know there are many people around the world that just love cats. So I'm going to preface everything I say after this that good for you. But what I've learned, we've never had a cat, never wanted a cat, got a lot of friends with cats, and they really don't care if you're around, right?
it really truly depends, I think. Some cats, so I have a cat who it's do not touch me, and that's fine. I put food down and we do not touch it. Her cat, she has a child who's 5, so the cat is used to being hugged on daily. So he needed that hugging. So I posted pictures on Facebook of him curled in my armpit
Mm.
the entire 10 days. So he needed that. But a good portion of cats do not want touching.
Yeah.
So it depends on the pet.
I don't know if many cats greet the owners at the door wagging their tail like dogs do.
Some
Probably
do, some don't.
half the
Some
fun of
do.
having the dog, right? At least somebody's glad to see
Absolutely.
you somewhere you went today, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and it helps when you have treats, so,
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. We can all be bought, that's for sure.
yes.
I think a lot of us probably, if we're in a position to hire someone like you, we probably should. I go back to when I talk to folks about what you do, I immediately go to the pet sitting, because how valuable that is. I mean, if you have a pet, you want to at least get them looked in on once or twice a day, if not spending the whole night. But the other one is meal prep. I mean, if you're working till 5:30 at night, whether you're single, married, have kids, um, sometimes the last thing you wanna do is come home and cook dinner.
Absolutely, especially well, in this day and age, there's so many things because children, they're in a lot of activities, so
Yeah,
it's hard to get a good meal, so, it's either eating a good meal that's been prepared for you or stopping at McDonald's every single night as you're dropping your child off, so which would you prefer? Me personally, McDonald's is kind of old.
yeah,
Not hitting on it, but I would rather have lasagna made,
mhm,
knowing that that's ready to be popped in the oven or, spaghetti or whatever it is that you eat. So one of the things that we like to do is meal prep, and for me personally, it is spend a Saturday and I meal prep for the week. So my lunch is just grab and go. I don't have to think about what it is I'm going to eat. I've already thought about it. Or dinners, it's prepared. It's in the refrigerator. All I have to do is throw it in the oven, and I have several different meals during the week, and I don't have to think about it. It's like my past self thought of my future self and took care of me for the whole week, and I really love that because at the end of the day, no, I don't want to stop and think about what I'm going to cook. I don't wanna have to stop and go get the food. It's
yep,
already ready for me. So that I really love that.
yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense, for those of us who had kids back in the day and you're running to Little League this and band that and cheerleading it makes a lot of sense. I think these single 25-year-old guys who have a girlfriend should hire you to meal prep a little bit, and then he needs to always invite her over and have some good dinner for her. Don't admit to anything yet because you're still in the dating stage, but kinda show off a little bit with like, "Hey, here's what I got for you tonight, honey."
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that I like to do as well, so I have 3 daughters, and 2 of them, they also meal prep. So they each have 3 children, so 9 grandchildren. And one of the things that we like to do for each other is, "Hey, you're gonna have a baby in 3 months. Let's meal prep. Let's fill your freezer,
Sorry.
full of meals." So that way there, you don't have to be thinking about that. You can spend the time with
Yeah,
the baby or
yeah,
your children. Depending on the age of the kids could pop the food in the oven
mm.
as well. So the focus is always on the baby. So one of the things we like to do that as well is meal prep, especially if you're expecting, because when you come home from the hospital, you don't want to have to think about food.
Yep,
It's already ready for you.
yep. And then packing and unpacking, people should just call you the minute they know they're moving. It's like, "Look, you gotta admit, I hate doing this, I don't wanna do it, I can't wrap correctly, can't pack correctly, please come help."
Absolutely. One of the things that I like to do is organize. So I come in and I meet with the clients, look to see the size of the job, and then are they looking to purge items? If they're purging items, do they want them donated? Do they want them donated to a specific organization? If not, then I will find, I have several organizations that I use, and like books. I didn't realize that donating books, nursing home takes books for the residents to read, or jails will take books for their residents to read. So instead of throwing books away, I like to make sure that we can repurpose items. I would prefer to keep it out of the landfill if possible. And then once we've purged with the client, then get it packed, get it organized, so that way there they know that, hey, this box contains this.
Mhm.
Um, Instead of just, I've seen people where they just put everything in a box.
Yes.
I like to keep I like to keep, in the kitchen, this is what is in this
Mhm.
box. So it's not kitchen and bathroom and living room in the same box. So
Yep.
we come in and organize, make sure that you are organized your, for the most part, your whole packing experience. And then on the flip side, we come in and unpack and then organize you that way. So both sides.
And I think for those of us who have moved a couple of times, is you should put a date on the box. So if
Yes.
4 years go by and that box hasn't been opened, did we really need what was in there? Because we've always heard of the 2 move rule. If you move twice and never open that box in either move, after either move, did you really need the stuff in the box? And the answer
Absolutely.
is no, but I might one day.
Well, it's probably outdated by that one day, so let's repurpose it now
Yeah,
because others could use it.
because back when we were younger, there was no technology, so it's not like something was out of date, in an hour or something like that. But now, yeah, with technology and things, like, wow, that's cute. Oh, well, now you should keep records because vinyl's
Yes,
coming back. The record player, don't know if anybody could fix that these days, but there's certain things that would be fun. All
I
right,
have a client
go ahead.
sorry, I have a client that's moving this week, and she has a VCR from 20 years ago, and we talked to her about, the technology is better now, so perhaps it's time to get a DVD player.
Yep,
So, she's decided to let the VCR go.
but not
'Cause
without a fight.
right, but she also only had 1 VHS tape, so it was a good idea to let it go, so.
Yeah. Wow, just one, huh? Okay. I didn't know you could have just one. I thought you had to have I think we have a box full of now we're guilty of this too because we're been cleaning out our garage over the last couple of months to get Becky's car in there. And we have a box of it says VHS on there. And these are Disney movies from, way back when the boys were little, and don't know if any of the grandkids will watch that, but we're guilty of that too. Someday it may come in handy. Yeah.
Right.
So you moved into the world of small business ownership. So
Yes.
let me guess, 30-year-old Mary was thinking one day, I need to own my own business, right?
Yes, actually, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Back then, what kind of business was it you wanted to own?
So I honestly wasn't sure back then. It was, do I wanna sell Mary Kay?
Mm,
So at that time, I was looking at something that was already set up in place. So I was thinking, do I wanna sell this? Do I wanna sell that? And then I have to be different. So I reached out to my business coach last year and I said, I'm coming from corporate America and I am always helping someone else build their bottom line and making sure that their goals are met. I think it's time to do mine. And I was asked, can you run the backside, the office side? And I said, absolutely. I have over 35 years of business experience. and office management skills. So, yes, I can do that side. And then we talked about what I could offer on the business side as far as things that I could do that could be profitable. And being a female, being a mother, grandmother, um, my whole life I have done errand running, pet sitting, meal prep, organization. That is my strength. And we decided that I should potentially start a concierge company. And I said, let's do it. So working with a business coach kept me accountable, keeps me accountable on a weekly basis to make sure that my goals are still in line with growing my business. So it's been very pertinent to have a business coach. So if anybody says, I'm thinking about starting a business, I always say, make sure you have your business coach lined up because they will keep you accountable during the process.
And when you're talking about a business like yours that takes coordination and makes life easier, generally there's nobody better to do those than moms because they've been through that, working, not working, with kids, 2 kids doing this, going there, and, for us parents, we know, so Oliver turned 5 this past Friday, and that was just a blink of an eye, and Maggie will be 1 in a couple weeks, so you know how fast things go, so I hope people realize the value of their time and where they really wanna spend it and where they don't wanna spend it to give you a call, so I think that would be good for them. Uh, so you have 9 I have 3, and I'm having a blast, and you have 9.
I do.
Love that. Are you done getting grandkids, do you think?
I have 3 daughters,
Mhm.
so there could be some competition. Who's gonna have the next one?
I like
I
that.
don't know.
Well,
So
as you build an empire, that may affect the will, yeah.
right, right, right.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
So I am always happy to see the next newest. I have grandchildren from the age of 13 to 3 months. So it is I love it's like each year or each year and a half there's a new one. So it's great.
and you go
So
by
you
many different names.
I do. One set of grandchildren call me Nona. One set calls me No No because at the time she couldn't say Nona, so No No stuck. And then the other set calls me Grammy. And it's funny when they're all together, every once in a while, one from another set will try out the other name.
Yeah.
And I respond. At one point, um, when my one of my granddaughters was younger, I said, "Hey, baby," because I hadn't seen her for a couple weeks. And so for the next couple months, every time she saw me, my name was Hey, baby. And
Yeah.
for my grandchildren, I will answer to anything.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So,
Yeah, because Oliver, whenever I'm in the room and he comes in the room, I automatically hear, "Hey, Pop." Like, "What do you need, dude?"
oh, whatever they call you, you respond.
I
So
I
I
like
love
when they're in trouble with their parents and they try to rope us into this conversation like I'm gonna side with them even if they're right. No, dude. No, no, no. I love you, and I'll do just about anything for you, but if your dad says no, and not the fight I wanna fight today.
oh God, no. No.
Oh, it is so much fun doing that. And then the other thing that you and I laugh a lot about is, you have 3 daughters, I have 2 sons, and just I again, I have 2 granddaughters now. I'm not with them on a daily basis watching them being raised, but we're in contact once or twice a week on video when we're not seeing each other. But that's a whole 'nother world with daughters,
Yeah,
for
very
the
much
mom,
so.
right?
Yeah, very
Yeah,
much so.
yeah,
When as you raise your child, and especially mothers and daughters, the daughters has to break away. So when they move out, I don't know what it's like to have a son because I don't have them. I have son-in-laws. But when the daughter moves out, they break that tie because they are starting their own life. And as a mom, you go through a grief process because, oh my God, my baby moved out. What if they need me? Oh my God. So, are they tucked in at night? Are they home at night?
Yeah.
So, it was a lot. I love it. I love my daughters. My oldest, she is going on 29, and my youngest is 31. But I love it. They are wonderful moms. And one of the things about creating my company was at the time I had my kids, we didn't have this service. So it was
No.
mom. Everything fell on mom to make sure, if you're working or if you're not working outside the home, it's a lot. So I like to provide my daughters time off. I say, "Hey, I wanna come down this day and this day. Um, is that okay?" And they're like, "Absolutely. I am going to take my self-care. I'm gonna go to the coffee shop with my embroidery. I'm gonna spend a couple of hours there." No children. So I get to play, with that set, it's no, no. I get to be the dinosaur, and I
Yes.
chase the children around the yard. I'm the dinosaur. Um my one other daughter, she likes to clean her house while I'm watching the kids, and whatever your self-care looks like to you, do it. I have another one, let me get in the tub for an hour with a glass of wine. Her husband is like, "Don't you wanna, like, go shopping or something?" She goes, "No, I need tub time and a glass of wine."
And
It's like,
nobody coming in asking me questions.
yeah, so yeah, and I have the baby while she's doing that,
Yeah.
so it just whatever your self-care looks like to you, let's do it.
Yep. Mine
So
is when the grandkids come here is we go for wagon walks in the neighborhood. So we had all that way I'm all for so this was back in Memorial Day weekend, in Atlanta. We all went to my sister's house. So it's, me and Becky, Travis, Sarah, Oliver, Maggie, Cameron, Jen, Cortland, cousins, nieces, nephews, right? And my sister, before we went down there, she goes, "Now, Mike, you can't hog all 3 of the grandkids." I'm like, "I disagree with you, but get to your point." She goes, "You've got to give people time to hold your grandkids." I'm like, "Okay." That's all I said. And then I went about my normal business. I only take the grandkids from their mothers. Give mom a break. Say, "Hey, can I take Maggie for a little bit?" And Sarah goes, "Yeah, here." Right? And so I don't take grandkids from anybody else's arms except the moms to give them a break. And
Right,
so after the weekend was over, I pulled a few close family members aside and said, "Did you watch what I did?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Okay. So I monopolize their time a bunch, but I'm only taking away from mom to give them a break.
right, right, right.
Because I think it just and I like to during meals, right? They were up here the other day and Maggie, is dinner time on what day? Saturday or lunch? No, it was lunchtime yesterday. And I just grabbed Maggie and Sarah's eating. She goes, "I can hold her." I'm like, "Yeah, when you're done." Like, so Maggie and I went outside and she fed me. So she eats food and she'll play with you sometimes. But yeah, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy the grandkid stuff. So,
Mhm.
so regular work schedules like what for you?
So I typically have morning client, afternoon client. Um, and it depends on the client's needs. I have weekly clients. Sometimes I have biweekly clients. Sometimes they're monthly. Sometimes it's a one-time client. It depends on what they need. Um, so I keep my days packed. And on the days where I am not with a client, I set up one-to-ones with BNI members because for me, it's about having those relationships with the people who are taking care of my clients. At any point, a client can say, "Hey, I need a roofer, or I need a flooring person, or I need a florist, or I need a massage therapist. Who do you know?" And I always like to have that person, not in my back pocket, but I like to have their information and I can say, I've utilized this person. Everybody raves about them. Um, one of the things I don't do, can I clean? Yes, I can clean. However, that's not my focus of my company. So I have a cleaning company that I utilize all the time. And my clients rave about her, and it's Holly Maxey with Everfresh Cleaning. And anytime a client says, "Hey, I'm looking for a cleaner," I recommend Holly. And when Holly is working with her clients, sometimes they need organization. And can she do it? Yes. Does she want to do it? No. So she says, you need to talk to Mary. And so we refer clients back and forth to each other based on what our clients need. So I love sending referrals to my BNI members because I know that they're going to take care of my clients like I would. And in return, I do the same as well. So it's all about that relationship.
So you are like most of the people in the triangle today, you are not from here.
I am not, I'm from upstate New York, next to the Canadian border, next to Vermont. So far, far from here.
And you miss the snow? Is that why you moved down here?
Well, at the time, I
I love
was going
these.
through a
Yep,
divorce.
yep. I love these answers when it begins with it.
At
It was a good
the
idea
time,
back then, wasn't it?
we had 3 feet of snow back then, and I thought, I want to go where it's nice and warm and sunny all the time. Now it's like, I really like snow. So sometimes when it's snowing in Colorado, I will take a trip that way because it's so much nicer. So
Do you have any
do I miss?
stories of trips to Canada at a, younger age?
I was in 6th grade. Our class, we did a trip to Canada way back in the very early 80s, very late 70s, early 80s. It was quite the eye-opening experience. I do remember the Chinese food. It was wonderful. That was the first time I had had Chinese food. Um, it was phenomenal. I got to shop and I learned the difference. The dollar value was different. And I'm like, ooh,
Mhm.
I could just spend a little bit more money here.
Yep.
I
Had no
bought my first album.
Rush?
Uh, no, actually, it was a compilation. And I think his name was Robert John. The song Sad Eyes.
Yep,
I remember that song.
yep. Because usually when I have somebody on the show from upstate Michigan or upstate New York, they always lead into a high school story of crossing the border because you could drink there at 18 and not 21.
That wouldn't be my story. That wouldn't be my story.
We'll
Um,
stick with that then.
yeah.
So no snow, huh?
I miss it.
Yep.
I do miss it. My favorite season is fall. Fall is wonderful. I love it. It's nice and cool. You can wear sweaters and boots and sit in front of a fireplace outside. So that I miss. I do miss.
Um, I want to go back to folks on outsourcing because it's worth it. I mean, you may not, some people can afford it, some people can't. But if you do, and we write down the 27 hours we need to get done, they should call someone like you. And eventually they tell you that, correct?
Absolutely. So I asked someone, what is on your to, because he was asking me to describe my company, and I said, what is your to-do list? And he thought about it, and I was waiting, and he goes, do I have to say it out loud? I said, well, it would help me a little bit. Um, I like to say I'm a mind reader, but sometimes I'm not. And so he gave me a little bit of his task list. He goes, okay, so I would rather pull my refrigerator out and clean behind it than to do the list,
Mm,
this task list. And I said, well, that's what I do. The list that you don't want to do or you don't have time to do. Um, so that's what I focus on for you. And I had someone say to me, so concierge is for lazy people. No, it's not for lazy people. It's for very busy
I
people
like
who
that.
um where they are struggling. Well, a lot of stuff falls on moms. So I
Yes.
focus on moms because um it's a lot. There's a lot to get done in a day. And if you work outside your home, if you work in your home, you're still working. So never to take away from either one of those. They're both very important. But do you want to focus on your 10 loads of laundry and you have to go to the grocery store? Do you want to focus on your children? Where is that focus that
Yep.
you want? One of the things we do, we come in and we take that heavy to-do list from you and we accomplish that for you. So that way there your focus can be where you want it to be. And So that's what we focus on for you.
Now, I know
We do.
when you're doing all that, you have earbuds in, probably playing some music. I know you're a huge concert goer. All right. Best concert you've seen in a while.
Last year, I went to see Lee Bryce. It was raining outside, and I thought, do I want to be in the rain? I put a hefty trash bag on and I sat in the rain. It was the best concert ever. It was at Red Hat. It was my first concert there. It was a great concert. He every single song he played, it was great. And he added extra because we sat in the rain to see him and it was wonderful. I loved it.
He's a country
I'm
singer, right?
he
Yep.
is. I
Yep.
actually have a ticket to go see Snoop Dogg on the 6th.
There you go. Where's he
That's
playing?
I think it's at Walnut Creek.
Okay. All right.
It's out of my wheelhouse. However,
Hey,
I'm stretched.
you're
It's a
young in
stretch goal.
game. Yeah. Yep.
It's a stretch goal.
I know your crush was Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury with Queen. Have you been to the tribute band yet with who's it? Adam Lambert.
I have not. I priced out tickets in is so the concert was in New York and it was very pricey to go see him. And I thought, if I'm going to spend $1,200 to see someone,
Wow.
it's going to be Freddie himself.
Yeah.
So there is that. So anyway, I listen to Queen every time Dan Campbell paints a
Yep.
painting of Freddie Mercury. I have to buy a copy because I need that for my collection.
There you go.
And just absolutely, Freddie is my all-time favorite.
Who didn't you get to see live?
Well, Freddie,
Yep.
Tom Petty was the other person that I
Yep.
really had wanted to see. I kept putting it off. He'll be here next year. He'll be here next year until he wasn't.
Yep.
So the past couple years, I've been hitting as many concerts as I can because they may not be here next year.
Yeah. That's true. It's true. There's
So
some legends we all missed out on. So, all
Brooks
right.
and Dunn.
Do what now?
Okay, sorry.
Good.
Brooks and Dunn. The last time I saw him, it was raining, and I left that concert because I didn't want to get wet. And I learned, I won't melt. So
Yeah.
they just had a concert 2 months ago, and 20 years later, because they had broken up for 20 years, I waited. 20 years later, I went to see them in concert. Fabulous concert. So,
Oh, are they back touring?
yes,
Oh, good.
yes,
Yeah, they're kind of the duo standard in music, that's for sure.
yeah.
All right, so give us a quick tip before we wrap up here. When we know we should call you, what happens in our house with our schedule when we know it's like, I need some help?
When it's an everyday, you have to keep moving your to-do list to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. And that can weigh on you because when you're not getting your stuff done and there may be a deadline on something. That is the perfect time to call. I have clients from lawyers to realtors to stay-at-home moms. They're all different and they all have different needs. And a lot of them are like, you know what? I do need that help. So it is not a failing at all. It is you recognize that yes, you do need help on some things, and we move it along for you and keep you going.
All right, and there's nothing wrong with getting somebody to come help you do stuff, folks, so don't ever worry about that. It's kinda nice. You'll enjoy being in 2 places at once, I know that.
Absolutely, I love it. When I hired a staff this summer, we tag teamed that day, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have a body double. I love this. I can see why this is so exciting for someone like my busy realtor client." I'm her body double. So when she comes in her house at night, for last year, she has 4 children, ranging 22 to 6. The older three did not want to decorate the Christmas tree, and the 6-year-old, he had to go to school. While he was at school that day, I came in, decorated the tree, had it all lit up. The presents were wrapped underneath. He came home and he was stunned. He thought Santa had come already. So it's something that we do. If you need it done, we can take care of it for you.
Nice, I like that. We've been putting Mary's phone number up here on the screen during the show. Also, a reminder, her BNI chapter meets Friday mornings at 8 a.m. at Outback Steakhouse on Walnut Street in Cary. Please go visit there if you're interested in meeting some other business professionals. And Mary, we got your number up there. People got no excuse how to be more. They should be start being more productive tomorrow, and I'm hoping they do. So we appreciate you
Absolutely.
being on the show and being the presenting sponsor of the show. Very much appreciate the partnership.
Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate all that you do for us.
All right, so folks, give Mary a call, try her out. Trust me, it'll be worth it. You'll feel like you're getting more than two
Mhm.
times things done. So, anyways, Mary, good luck with the rest of the week. We appreciate you being on the show, and we'll see everybody next time on Triangle BNI.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.